Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a noon video. And we've got kind of an update on the 400, or I should say 400 plus Star Wars action figures found in mint condition here. I've been able to talk to one of the guys that's helping to build the auction up. He's getting, he's going to label everything, take pictures of everything. And I figured I'd talk with him, ask him some of the questions you guys have been asking me that I didn't have answers for. And maybe you can find out how you can bid on some of this stuff. Yeah, and some of those Lukes are double tip lightsaber Lukes. Early bird Lukes. I know when we saw the picture, some of us were scratching our heads saying, is that early bird Luke? I didn't think so because some of them seemed like they were more later in the 70s, later cards than the original 12-back cards. But apparently at least about 6 of them were. So here's Chuck. We're going to talk and go over the auction, maybe answer some of your questions. So let's go. Okay, you are the guy. Well, tell me your role in all this first. Or your name. You're Chuck.
Yep, I'm Chuck Black. Yeah, I'm not sure what my role is in this whole thing, except for I somehow got involved with the guys, offered to help them out, give them a little advice, and they took me up on it. And it seems like they've brought me in on this a little bit to try to help out. So I'm the bridge, I guess, between the collector's universe and them.
Are you close to the auction house?
Relatively close. It's about an hour and a half drive.
Okay, you're lucky. I tried to contact them the day they posted it on Facebook, and nobody, never heard back. So I guess they was like, "Oh, we already got Chuck. We don't need to talk to this guy."
I guess I don't know. I just sent them a message out of the blue, and I offered to help. I was like, "Hey, I just want to do this the right way because it's a cool find," and didn't hear anything. And all of a sudden, I get a phone call, and they're like, "Hey, we want to talk." I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Okay, so you are a collector.
I am.
Okay, so you know what you're looking at.
I do. Yeah.
Because you would not believe how many comments I got on my video of, "Oh, they're fake. They're fake. They're fake." And I was like, "No, I don't think these are fake."
They are absolutely not fake. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I mean the fake 400 of them that good. I mean,
yeah, no, there's a lot of them that are really, really, really nice. Like I'd be shocked if some of them aren't the best of the best out there. I'd be shocked.
I mean, they look brand new from the pictures we saw of them anyway.
Yeah, so
a lot of them.
They said that the boxes were bought, and the gentleman bought them for his children, and he put them away because they weren't interested, and they were apparently never even removed from the boxes. The boxes were opened and put in a closet.
Now, this is the part that's kind of confused people because I've heard that story too. And
yep.
But they're from 78, 79, all the way up to 85.
Yeah.
And who buys a whole case of the same figures for their kids that don't want them for 10 years?
I wish I knew because, it's an older gentleman from what I understand. And, I was kind of doing the math earlier today, and I believe his children were either late teens or maybe early 20s when he started buying, just based upon the math. And I don't know. We can't make head or tails of it either. Thankful that they were put away. They were apparently put in his closet and they just sat there. So there's the vast majority of them were just in the boxes and never been removed. There were some that were bought, it looks like from store shelves that do have some store wear, and there's some price tags on a few of them. But yeah, a whole case of Yoda's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he wanted to buy them for himself, but he used his kids in excuse.
Yeah, maybe it was a little excuse to buy them. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we've all done that also. Okay, so they was just in a closet somewhere.
Just in a closet.
And I guess he passed away, is what I'm gonna guess.
No, he's still around. Yep. So he's kind of guiding the way that some of this is going. The figures are consigned to the auction house. He does not wish to be named, identified. They've let me know that there's nothing more to have, even if somebody figured out who it was. I don't even know the guy's name, so I couldn't tell you if I knew. But it was a relationship thing. So somebody knew the guy, and they had done some other stuff with him, and he said, "Hey, I've got these figures, and it's time for him to go."
So I wonder if he knows what he had, if he knows what he's sitting on.
I don't know that he fully knows, but from what they've told me, he pretty well knows. He knows he's got something good.
Okay, because I talked to you before, and some of those Luke Skywalkers are double tip lightsabers, right?
They are the double telescoping. There's at least 5. I think there's a 6th. There's 2 that I know are not. So there's one I need to look a little more closely at. I just didn't have enough time to really look too closely at it. But yeah, there's definitely some that are.
Right. So do you know when the auction is going to be?
It is going to be in early February. Still hammering out exact dates, but I'm hearing it's the first week of February. Yep.
Okay. Do you know if it's gonna be only online or if it's just gonna you have to be there to bid on it?
It's going to be a combination of stuff. So they are a full-on auction house. They have a gallery. The figures will be on display for a couple weeks in advance of the actual auction. From what I understand, they're putting together a catalog to put all the figures and all the information together. And once that is up and live, which they're expecting to be early January, you'll actually be able to start to do pre-bidding on them in January online through morpheauctions.com. And then they're going to have a live auction. So it's kind of like a hybrid kind of approach. So you can pre-bid online, and then they'll have a live auction in person. And you'll also be able to phone in and do that, the whole full auction experience.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now they're auction each figure or a lot because I heard two different things.
Yeah, so I think the initial plan when they got them, I think they were a bit overwhelmed, quite honestly, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll just sell all these Yodas and all these, we'll sell that as a lot." Which maybe that's not a great example. They're going to sell all these Lukes as a lot. They're going to sell all the Boba Fett's as a lot. And I said, guys, I don't know if that's the way to go. They've got a business, and they've got requirements and the way things work, and they do have some reasons for doing certain things certain ways. But I have been able to guide them away from selling all of the Boba Fett's as a lot. So those are gonna go as individual figures. There's a bunch of other ones that are gonna go to individual figures, but there are some smaller lots of figures. I helped put those together, and I think one of the lots put together was one of each of the Ewoks mint on card. So
Okay.
there's a bunch of different combinations of things for smaller lots, but nothing crazy like all 6 DT Lukes or whatever it is in one lot.
Yeah, that's what I heard to start with. I was like, that's gonna limit who bids on it, and I
Yeah,
mean that's gonna be if you try to auction off all those DT Lukes all in one auction, man. That's not many people's got that kind of money.
that's for sure. Yeah, and we talked about that, and I think they were open to the suggestions, and I think for me that's kind of maybe where I'm the bridge between the collectors community and kind of understanding what the collector might want, and also meeting their needs as a business, and part of this consignment, right? So this part of this is the wishes of the consigner, which is the guy that owned them, and he wants to sell them. And another question that's come up a couple times too is, well, why don't you just go get them graded and go get that done? And he didn't want to do that. The consigner didn't want to do that. He wanted to just put them up and get them sold and get it done.
Yeah, he must be in a hurry, but still grading. I mean, 400 of them. That's a lot of out of pocket.
Not only that, but the time. I mean, some of the grading
Yeah,
companies are fairly well backed up, so I can only imagine grading that many figures would take some time.
yeah, mailing them. You have to mail them to them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't blame him either. And I mean, as long as there's people look at them to kind of know what they're looking at, I think you can kind of that's good. At least you stepped in, and some other people's kind of looked at them and seen what they got.
Yeah, and
You,
they're beautiful. Some of those things are even some of the Jedi carded ones. The bubbles are just so crystal clear, and the cards are perfectly flat and crisp, and the bright colors. And it's got that glossy appearance to the card, and they're just like perfect.
yeah, and it's just like I said, just seeing those pictures, they look like they were just bought right off the store. And if he bought them by the case, he must have known somebody at a toy store because
That's the
people
only
didn't really buy cases back then.
that's the only thing I can think. Yeah, but
Yeah.
from what I'm told, some of those figures had never been removed from the case at all.
Oof. Now, some people's asked me, do you know if they're going to sell those cases, the boxes?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Because believe it or not, people will pay a lot of money for the boxes.
Yep, I've advised them that they are quite desirable as well. Yes,
Yep. Either in the box or empty boxes, people will buy them.
you better believe it.
So, how long have you been collecting?
Yeah, since I was a little kid, I never really stopped. There was a little bit of break in the middle there for girls, and
Yeah.
just took a little bit of a break. But I've been collecting since I was a little kid.
Okay. That's a pretty good collection, I would guess, then.
Yeah, I pared it back a little bit, focused a little bit. I'm focused on stormtroopers, specifically mint on card stormtroopers. So I've got about 50 something stormtroopers.
Man. I actually
Yeah,
found a stormtrooper on a Star. I don't know what the back was, but it was a Star Wars logo card at an antique store. But they wanted $700 for it, which somebody on Facebook gave me the money to go buy. And it was like, you go get it for me.
nice
Yeah, you don't. It's very rare to run into anything. That's why people are so amazed about this auction because
for
how
sure.
many of us have been to these estate sales and yard sales and antique stores and hoped you might find one piece, if that.
Yep, a couple loose figures and you're thrilled, right? But to 400 and some carded figures, it's insane. And there's
It's
more
crazy.
to it than that. There's a couple other little things too that'll be coming out. One thing I know for sure I remember seeing was a sealed Cloud City playset that's like absolutely crisp corners, perfect,
Man.
beautiful sealed tape.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other stuff too.
Okay, so it's more than just the figures.
Yeah, not a lot more from that grouping, but there are some other things.
Okay, and we've I think I've seen the picture. It goes already at the Power of the Force, right?
Goes all the way through all 4 lines. Now it stops there for some reason. No Ewoks, no droids. I guess maybe he finally got the message after buying 400 some figures that his kids weren't interested in the Ewoks or droids line. But hey,
Finally get it. Well, Power of the Force ain't a good place to stop because
yeah.
Did he have Yak Face?
No Yak Face.
Okay, yeah. If he had a Yak Face, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, for real. Wouldn't that be right?
Somebody asked if it has price stickers, and I know at least one of them had a price sticker.
A couple of them do have price stickers. Like I said, some of them do appear to have been on store shelves and then purchased and put away. But the vast majority, and especially the early stuff, does not.
Okay. And how were they stored? I think we kind of covered that. They were just stored in the closet somewhere, which surprised the bubbles are that good.
Yeah, thankfully they weren't like stuck in a barn or out, with the mice or something like that. No, they were apparently indoors in a closet, kind of tucked away and climate controlled.
So the auction's first of the year, you said February, somewhere around there.
Early February is going to be the auction. They should be online sometime early January. I'm thinking probably first or second week of January. They're going to be online. You'll be able to take a look at them. They've all been lotted up into groups and kind of organized in some logical fashion, and they'll be going up. And they have this find as part of it too, but they do have a bunch of other stuff that's going to be going up as part of this auction too. I know they're focused on this particular find, but they've got some other really cool stuff too.
Okay, I checked their website. I've seen they sold Star Wars stuff before, so
they kind
of know what they're doing, I guess. But some of them sold kind of cheap when I looked at their past auctions. I mean, for Star Wars vintage, that is.
Sure, yeah. But the gallery is definitely going to be open, like I said, a couple weeks before the auction. If you're able to get into the area, they've got a beautiful showroom where they've got glass cases. Everything's going to be set up. You can come see it in person if you wish. Yeah, it's a nice, really, really nice setup. Nice guys too.
Yeah, and it looks like they have put those figures in the glass cases now, right?
In the acrylic, yeah.
In the acrylic, yeah.
Yeah, we worked. I worked on that with them early on. That was one of the first things I said. Hey guys, we got to get these into some nice protective cases, and not the star cases. These are nice figures. We want to protect them. So yeah.
You want to go ahead and get that extra for that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have anything else. I think we've covered everything. Can you come back maybe after the auction and talk with me again?
Sure. I'm actually going to be headed back up there probably in another 2 weeks, I think, to do some more work on it, some inventory stuff, descriptions for everything. If more questions come up, we can schedule another time to talk. Maybe keep getting questions from the fans and stuff, and we put some more together.
Okay. Yeah. I love to see how the auction did and maybe, how the pieces went and everything and see what the reaction was.
I'm planning on being there for the auction too, I believe. So.
Okay. Yeah. Just keep me posted and I'll let everybody else know too.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure thing. If you come up with anything else, just let me know. I'm happy to help answer questions.
I will. Thank you.
All right, man.
And that's it. Thank you, Chuck, man. What a great find. I want to thank Chuck again for reaching out and helping me get this video out there and telling people about it. I've asked him to follow up with me after the auction, maybe another interview, talk about how the auction went, and even is going to send me some pictures here and there throughout the day or throughout the weeks while they're getting ready for this auction. So make sure you're on my Facebook, Twitter. Usually my toy stuff is over at Kenner Toys on Twitter. I do have that Junkman on Twitter. That's more me just goofing around. If you just want to see the toy stuff without me goofing around, then you're going to want to check out Kenner Toys on Twitter and Instagram, that Junkman. I'll put pictures up there also. And of course, the community tab here and other videos. So just stay tuned to Junkman. Follow me on social media. But again, thanks, Chuck, for reaching out. I'm glad we could talk and get this done. And if you have any more questions you want me to find out for you, put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.